You were destined for wealth, not just enough to get by, not just a trickle, but a river, a flood, a divine downpour of billions flowing directly into your life. This is not a fantasy, not a hollow affirmation, not just a hope you whisper to the stars. This is a divine reality already seeded in the infinite blueprint of your soul. Somewhere deep within you, you've always known this. The moments you caught yourself dreaming bigger than your surroundings, the times you felt out of place in struggle, the urge to rise higher despite everything. That wasn't just wishful thinking. That was your destiny calling. You were not born to suffer through scarcity, to plead for scraps, or to feel guilt over wanting more. You were born to command kingdoms, to walk through golden doors that open for you effortlessly, to receive abundance not with apology, but with certainty. You were always meant for this wealth. You were always meant to have more. Before we dive deep into this journey of transformation, watch this video until the very end. Let every word soak into your consciousness. Let it awaken the sleeping divine inside you that has waited too long to rise. As you watch, I invite you, no, I urge you, to comment below your warmest, boldest wishes along with the number 77. That number is a signal to the universe, a divine code that stirs the energies of manifestation into action. Your words are not just comments, they are declarations. When you write your wishes with sincerity and faith, you don't just hope, they begin to happen. You are calling your destiny toward you. You are energizing the field of divine possibility that has always surrounded you. Type it, feel it, claim it, 77, and your wish. Then watch what begins to shift in your reality. Now let's begin. What does it mean to be destined for wealth? Not to work endlessly for it, not to beg or strive for every coin, but to be divinely chosen to carry the vibration of wealth itself. It means that wealth is not something you chase. It's something you attract, like a magnet perfectly aligned with the frequency of the riches of the universe. It means you already carry the blueprint for abundance in your energy. You are a living invitation for prosperity to find a home. And if that hasn't happened yet, it's not because the destiny isn't real. It's because something, an old belief, a buried wound, a false identity, has blurred your signal. Today, that ends. You must understand something powerful. Wealth is not a reward. It is an alignment. The divine doesn't grant wealth as a favor to the lucky. It flows where it is welcomed, where the inner world is clear enough to receive. If you've struggled financially, it isn't because you weren't worthy. It's because your mind was trained in survival, not in abundance. It's not your fault, but it is your time to change it. You inherited scarcity thinking from a world that forgot its own magic. But the truth never died. It waited in you, like a sleeping giant. And now your awakening begins. Every desire you've ever felt for more money, more freedom, more luxury, it's not greed, it's not ego, it's the divine impulse calling you to rise to your natural level. Why would the universe, which is infinite in its resources, want you to live small? Why would you be given dreams of mansions, travels, and overflowing generosity if you were meant to scrape by? You weren't. That's why, even now, hearing these words, something inside you is remembering. That memory is your truth. To claim your divine billions, you must first see yourself as already worthy of them. Not someday, now. This is not about changing your outside life. It's about changing your inner truth. Your subconscious must believe that you are the kind of person who receives billions, not works endlessly to earn them, but receives them as a divine inheritance. Because once you believe that, the world will rearrange to match it. You will meet the right people, you will find the right ideas. Doors will open without effort. Money will show up without fear. But none of this can happen until you fully accept this one thing. You are already chosen. Chosen. Let that word settle in your heart. Chosen for abundance. Chosen for overflow. Chosen for divine billions that go far beyond your bank account. They fill your life, your soul, your legacy. But to receive what is yours, you must stop doubting it. You must stop questioning whether you deserve it. That's not your job. Your job is to align, to prepare, to become the vessel that wealth loves to pour into. And to do that, you must clean your inner world of lack. What beliefs are keeping you poor? What stories do you keep repeating about why you can't have more? Whose voice still echoes in your mind saying money is evil or hard to get, or for others? Today, those voices lose their power. Today, your new truth begins. Say this to yourself. I was born for wealth. I am aligned with wealth. I am a divine magnet for billions. Say it again, then again, not as a ritual, but as a remembrance. The more you say it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you live it. You may not yet see billions in your account. That doesn't matter. A seed doesn't look like a tree, but the tree is already inside it. You carry the seed of wealth now. Nurture it with your words, your thoughts, your emotions. Celebrate even the smallest sign of abundance. That one unexpected check. Celebrate it. That compliment that boosts your confidence. Celebrate it. Every tiny drop is proof that the faucet is opening. And when you stay in gratitude, the flow increases exponentially. This is the power of divine wealth. It builds in momentum as you align. And your job is not to control how or when it comes. Your job is to expect it, to feel it, to live today as if the billions are already yours. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows what's on the way. Dress, speak, move like someone who is already wealthy. This is not pretending, it's positioning. And wealth responds to that posture. Every wealthy person you admire, whether they admit it or not, did this on some level. They saw themselves as destined. They believed in their right to receive. They made decisions from vision, not fear. And you can too. Your billions are waiting for that shift inside you. Your billions are drawn to the you who no longer apologizes for desiring more. The you who claims your place in the divine order of abundance. You are not here to beg for money. You are here to command it. You are not here to chase clients, scrape savings, fear bills. You are here to be the blessing, the source, the overflowing cup that pours into others without running dry. Wealth isn't the end goal. It's the beginning. It's the power that lets you build, give, transform. It's the fuel for your divine purpose. And that purpose? It is vast. It's noble. It's necessary. You are not just destined for wealth. You are destined to change lives with it. To leave a legacy. To rewrite the story of your family, your community, your world. And it all starts with one choice. To believe. Believe in your divine billions. Believe they are yours now. Believe you are worthy, ready, and supported. Because you are. You always have been. You must begin to see money not as a distant achievement, but as an intimate companion. A presence that wants to move with you, work through you, and elevate you. Most people are conditioned to think of money as something outside of them, something that must be earned through struggle or unlocked only through specific conditions. But divine wealth, the kind you are destined for, operates on a completely different frequency. It doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to power, inner power, silent, rooted, unstoppable knowing. This knowing is what turns ordinary people into channels of extraordinary fortune. It's what activates divine timing, what unlocks creative genius, and what draws opportunities from invisible places. When you step into this knowing, truly step into it, not just saying affirmations, but embodying the truth that you are already the embodiment of wealth, you become a force that reality bends to meet, not the other way around. You see, divine wealth is not about accumulation for status or ego. It is sacred. It is energy. And when you honor that energy, it rushes toward you. Most people unknowingly repel money because they fear it, resent it, or worship it from a place of lack. But you are learning to harmonize with it, to understand its rhythm, to see it not as a trophy, but as a tool of divine creation. And that shift is everything. What would it look like if you trusted that money was already yours before it appeared? What would you stop doing? What would you start doing? When you live in this divine trust, you don't make decisions based on fear of losing. You make moves based on faith in inevitable gain. That's when everything accelerates. You don't hesitate. You don't shrink. You act as if you are already backed by billions, because energetically, you are. This is where most people fall short. They want the wealth, but still identify as someone who doesn't have it. They look around at their current circumstances and mistake them for their identity. But your bank account is not your identity. Your bills are not your truth. Your history is not your prophecy. Your destiny is written in gold, not in struggle. And when you stop identifying with limitation, you give permission for your true self, the wealthy self, to emerge. That wealthy self already exists in the quantum field. It is real, alive, whole, and waiting for you to merge with it. The gap between you and that version of yourself is not time. It's belief. Belief is the bridge. Every thought that affirms your wealth builds that bridge. Every decision made in abundance strengthens it. Every moment you reject doubt, you walk further across. Until one day, you look up and realize the life you once imagined is now the life you live. But walking this path takes courage. It takes daily decisions that align with wealth, even when your surroundings whisper otherwise. It takes choosing to feel rich when you're still stepping out of lack. It takes trusting the invisible, leaning into the divine flow, and surrendering to the truth that you are never alone in this journey. Because the universe is not neutral, it is benevolent. And when it sees someone standing in their divine power, it responds with miracles. You must rewire your emotional response to wealth. No more guilt, no more shame, no more waiting for permission. Wealth is not selfish, it is expansive. The more you have, the more you give. The more you circulate, the more others rise. Your abundance uplifts the entire grid of humanity. So stop shrinking, stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Shine so fully that others remember their own brilliance just by standing near you. You were born to carry wealth with grace, with purpose, with integrity. You are not here to hoard. You are here to embody the sacred truth that money is good when it flows from love. And your billions, they are coded in your divine purpose. They are attached to the mission your soul signed up for before this life began. That's why the desire for more doesn't go away. It was never meant to. It's your compass. It points to your destiny. Every divine billionaire understands this. They see money not just as freedom, but as fuel. Fuel for vision, fuel for healing, fuel for building legacies that last generations. And this is the level you are rising into now. Not just financial freedom, but financial destiny, a divine contract you are finally remembering. To honor that contract, you must take full ownership of your life. You must stop blaming, stop waiting, and stop looking outside for validation. You are the source. The shift starts with you. Your inner world is the projector of your outer experience. If you want billions out there, you must first cultivate them in here, in your thoughts, your self-talk, your self-worth. Raise your standards. Decline what no longer aligns. Say no to lack even when it looks like your only option. Because when you say no to the old, you make space for the divine new. This is the rebirth of your identity, from struggle to sovereignty, from doubt to dominion, from surviving to thriving. And every time you choose wealth in your mindset, your life rearranges to mirror that choice. This journey isn't about being perfect. It's about being powerful, choosing again, rising again, believing again. When setbacks come, and they will, you don't interpret them as signs to quit. You see them as signals that the breakthrough is near. Because wealth is not a straight road. It's a spiral staircase, and every loop takes you higher. You are becoming magnetic. You are stepping into a version of yourself who doesn't just want wealth, but commands it. You are aligning with the divine currents of flow, where ideas turn into income and energy becomes embodiment. This is the real wealth. Not just cash, but clarity. Not just digits, but destiny. The divine billions are already yours. Now, you're catching up to them, walking with them, breathing with them, and soon living fully inside them. And once you do, there's no going back, only forward, only more, only overflow. To fully embody your divine billions, you must master the energy of certainty. Not hope, not vague belief, certainty. This is the vibration that separates the wealthy in spirit from those still wandering through shadows of lack. Certainty creates movement. It opens portals. It tells the universe, I am ready now. And the universe always listens to clarity. Imagine for a moment that there is no possibility of failure. None. What would you do differently? What risks would you take? What would you allow yourself to receive? When you live as if success is inevitable, you stop negotiating with fear. You stop asking for permission to rise. You begin walking with a level of self-trust so strong that the entire energy field around you begins to change. That's not magic. That's alignment. You were destined not only to have wealth, but to embody it in a way that shifts the atmosphere, to walk into a room and change its frequency, to speak and have the room lean in. Divine wealth is not loud. It's potent. It's felt before it's seen. It lives in your posture, in your silence, in your decisions. And when you carry that kind of wealth, opportunities flow to you without chasing. People seek you out without you having to convince them. The world moves differently when you remember who you are. But to get there, you must let go of smallness, of modest dreams, of safe goals. Your destiny demands expansion. It calls for visions that make your current self tremble, not because you're unworthy, but because they are too big for the identity you're shedding. That tremble is a good sign. It means you're close to transformation. Lean into it. Stretch. Let your desires pull you into your higher self. Because here's the truth. If your vision doesn't scare your ego, it's not your divine vision. The divine doesn't think in limitations. It doesn't dream in decimals. It dreams in kingdoms, legacies, galaxies of possibility. You are a co-creator with that force. And your wealth is not just about income. It's about impact. It's about becoming the kind of person who can hold greatness without flinching. You must begin to ask different questions. Not, can I afford this? But does this align with my divine wealth. Not, what if I fail? But what if this is the very step that unlocks everything? The quality of your questions dictates the quality of your reality. Ask from fear, and you get more fear. Ask from faith, and you get divine acceleration. This is why self-image is critical. Wealth responds to identity. You can't fool it. You can't fake it until you make it. You must become it before it arrives. The energy of wealth moves toward those who already feel like they have something to offer. Not just to the marketplace, but to the world. Your gifts, your presence, your essence, all of it is valuable currency in the divine economy. So who are you becoming? Really think about that. Not the version of you that reacts to bills and deadlines. The version of you that wakes up in full alignment. Who moves like a billionaire before a single dollar lands. Who knows wealth is coming because wealth always comes to those who stand in truth. That version of you doesn't hesitate. They don't apologize for wanting more. They understand that more is their divine inheritance. You are building a new neural architecture now, a new internal operating system. Every time you say, I am wealth, you are carving new pathways in your mind. Every time you choose trust over worry, you build the muscle of divine certainty. And like any muscle, it grows with repetition. That's how embodiment works. Not overnight, but inevitably. You are becoming the version of yourself who lives in alignment with billions. And with that wealth comes responsibility, but not in the way you've been taught. Not the heavy burden of guilt or the pressure to save everyone. True divine responsibility is joyful. It's expansive. It's the understanding that the more you have, the more good you can do. The more you allow yourself to rise, the more you elevate everyone around you. You were never meant to carry the world. You were meant to rise and become a light so others could find their own way out of the dark. That is what divine wealth does. It uplifts, it frees, it empowers. It doesn't ask you to sacrifice your joy to earn it. In fact, your joy is the magnet. Your peace is the portal. When you stop living in stress and start living in vision, you move into alignment with your divine billions. Not because you worked harder, but because you stopped resisting your natural state. And your natural state is not struggle. It is not confusion. It is not endless effort. Your natural state is flow, ease, grace. These are not luxuries. They are indicators that you are aligned. So when things begin to feel easier, don't panic. Don't sabotage it. Receive it. Let ease become your new normal. Let miracles become your new language. This is not arrogance. Divine wealth is not chasing. It is attracting. It is receiving. It is sitting in stillness, and knowing your vibration alone is a beacon to everything you desire. That doesn't mean you do nothing. It means you do only what aligns. No more busy work. No more exhausting hustle that leads nowhere. Every action from here on out is intentional, sacred, and aligned with the highest version of you. And that version of you, they are already here, underneath the stories, beneath the doubts, beyond the fear. That self is waiting for your permission to fully emerge. Give it. Say yes to the vision, yes to the wealth, yes to the divine assignment that includes abundance as your foundation, not your finish line. You are not the exception. You are the example. You are not the dreamer. You are the destined. Billions were written into your code before you were even born. All you're doing now is remembering. All you're doing now is stepping into the timeline where they are already yours. That shift in awareness is the most powerful thing you can do. This is the revolution of your wealth. Quiet, potent, unstoppable. You don't have to fight for it. You just have to align. And in that alignment, the billions begin to move toward you, through you, with you. You have arrived at a turning point. Not a coincidence, not a random pause in time, but a divinely orchestrated intersection where your old story collapses and your new one begins. This moment is a portal, a quiet yet powerful invitation to shift from scarcity consciousness into divine inheritance. All that's required is your full yes. Not a hesitant, half-hearted yes, but a full-body, soul-deep, energetic yes to the truth. Wealth is no longer a possibility. It is your path. This yes changes everything. It alters your language. Your thoughts become disciplined. You no longer entertain conversations that normalize struggle. You stop identifying with lack. You stop bonding with people over wounds and start bonding over visions. You begin to take radical responsibility for every vibration you emit because you understand the frequency of wealth is precise. It doesn't play with doubt. It doesn't flirt with fear. It flows only where it is welcomed by certainty. That's the sacred work now. Not chasing, not striving, but aligning. Every day, you make micro decisions that either echo your old story or affirm your new one. These decisions may seem small. What you focus on, what you allow into your energy, what thoughts you repeat in silence, but they are everything. These are the codes of wealth, the divine language of creation, the whispers that turn into waves. Your divine billions are not a reward, they are a reflection. They mirror your inner world. And as that inner world becomes more aligned, more expanded, more anchored in truth, the reflection sharpens. What you once prayed for now appears as your standard. The miracles that once shocked you become your rhythm. And this is not because the world changed, it's because you did. You became the one who receives. You surrendered the need to prove. You dropped the attachment to timelines. You stopped trying to control how the abundance would arrive and focused instead on becoming the version of yourself who could hold it. You stopped performing for external validation and started living from internal knowing. That shift rewrites destinies. It collapses time. It activates miracles because you cannot fake divine wealth. The energy won't match. The field won't respond. But when it's real, when it's integrated, when it's embodied, the universe moves mountains for you. People appear, doors open, ideas pour in, and it feels like magic, but it's not. It's the reward of energetic maturity. You have earned this level, not by grinding, but by aligning, not by begging, but by becoming. And becoming is not always easy. There are initiations, tests, seasons where everything you believe will be challenged, not to punish you, but to purify you, to strengthen you, to make sure that when the billions come, you don't lose them, you don't fear them, you don't shrink under them, but instead, you rise, you expand, you steward wealth with the same integrity that you cultivated in the dark. This is why the journey matters, why every setback was sacred, every no was protection, every delay was preparation. Your divine billions were never delayed. They were being refined, and so were you. Now they can land, not as chaos, but as confirmation. You are ready, ready to speak with authority, ready to walk with confidence, ready to build with clarity, not from desperation, but from destiny. Because when you operate from destiny, every dollar has purpose. Every investment becomes a prayer. Every transaction, a transmission. Money becomes sacred, alive, blessed by your vision. You will no longer participate in lack-based structures. You will no longer shrink to fit systems that weren't designed for your expansion. You are here to build new systems, to disrupt the cycles of struggle, to model a new reality where wealth and divinity coexist, where being spiritual doesn't mean being broke, and being wealthy doesn't mean losing your soul. You are here to show that abundance is your natural state. You are here to normalize the extraordinary. You are here to create a life so aligned that it wakes others up to their own power. That is the responsibility of divine wealth, not just to enjoy it, but to embody it so fully that others remember what's possible for them too. You become a lighthouse, not by trying to convince, but by being the example, being the frequency, being the one who no longer settles for fragments of abundance, but claims the fullness of what was always yours. This is not a motivational speech. It is a divine reminder. You are not building wealth. You are revealing it. You are not becoming worthy. You are remembering that you already were. You are not chasing purpose. You are relaxing into it. There is a version of you that already knows this, who looks at you from the other side of time, smiling, whispering, "Keep going. You're almost there." That version of you already lives the life you desire, already experiences the overflow, already blesses others with ease. And the already blesses others with ease. And they are waiting for you to catch up, not through force, but through faith, not through worry, but through willingness, not through fear, but through freedom. Every time you say yes to your divine wealth, you collapse the space between who you are and who you were meant to be. And that version, they are glorious, they are untouchable, they are flowing in wealth, not because they asked, but because they accepted. You are ready to accept now, not with hesitation, not with guilt, not with apology, with reverence, with certainty, with joy, because it was never about luck. It was always about alignment. You are entering the phase where your energy does the heavy lifting. Not your hands, not your hustle, your frequency. That is the great shift from survival to sovereignty. You no longer need to convince anyone, chase anything, or doubt your path. The wealth you were destined for no longer feels far. It feels familiar, because you are matching its vibration now. You are thinking like wealth, moving like wealth, deciding like wealth. This is the embodiment phase, the quiet, grounded power where you don't need external proof to feel rich. You simply are. You feel it in your breath, your steps, your tone of voice. You feel it in the calm you carry, in the boundaries you keep, in the choices you make, not from fear, but from fullness. And when you embody wealth like this, reality bends. Things show up faster. People respond differently. Solutions reveal themselves without you needing to fight for them. There is a divine intelligence to wealth. It goes where it's respected. It flows to those who hold it with reverence, not desperation. When you carry wealth energy, you become a steward, not a seeker, a creator, not a chaser. And you begin to understand that you never needed to prove anything to anyone. You only needed to remember who you are. The people around you may not understand your rise. They may see your shift as arrogance, as ego, as too much. That's okay. You are no longer shrinking to fit rooms that can't contain your frequency. You are not here to stay relatable. You are here to be radiant. You are not here to make others comfortable in their limitations. You are here to activate truth by embodying expansion. That is how leaders walk. Because divine wealth isn't just for you. It moves through you. It wants to bless others, but it must start with you. You cannot give what you haven't received. You cannot uplift if you're still apologizing for your rise. You cannot inspire if you're still negotiating with lack. So claim your fullness, not just quietly in your mind, but outwardly, boldly, without flinching. Your divine billions are not a goal. They are a current, a stream you were born to swim in. The only thing that ever blocked you from receiving was the illusion that you had to earn it the hard way, that you had to suffer to prove your worth. But divine wealth has no such rules. It doesn't operate under the logic of the world. It follows the rhythm of truth. The more you embody truth, the more effortlessly it flows. So what does your truth look like when wealth is no longer a fantasy, but your baseline? When financial security is not a wish, but a given? How would you walk differently? Who would you allow into your space? What would you tolerate less of? What would you expect more of? These questions are not about the future. They are about now. Because now is when the shift happens. You are done being the version of yourself who begs the universe to notice you. You are the one who knows. You are the universe in motion. The one who commands reality by standing in full awareness of your worth. The one who does not need to explain their rise, only honor it. The one who lets their presence speak louder than their fear. The divine does not rush. It arrives on time. And so do you. You are not behind. You are not late. Every moment of lack was a setup for expansion. Every delay was a layer of doubt being stripped away. You needed those lessons so that when the billions came, you would know what to do with them, how to hold them, how to honor them. You were being forged in the fire so that when your destiny landed, you wouldn't sabotage it. And now it is landing, not all at once, not in some cinematic flash, but in layers, in signs, in whispers, in undeniable nudges that say, keep going, keep choosing, keep trusting. Your wealth is coming in the form of clients, ideas, partnerships, intuitive hits, unexpected doors opening. Pay attention, act in alignment, say yes without hesitation. You do not need to understand every detail. You only need to trust the impulse. Follow the peace. Walk with boldness even when your logical mind can't see the whole map. Because your soul sees it. Your destiny remembers. And when you walk by in a knowing, the outer world catches up. This is how divine wealth becomes visible. Not through a single miracle, but through compounded courage, through dozens of small moments where you chose truth over fear, alignment over urgency, trust over control. These choices create your legacy. You are no longer waiting. You are receiving. You are no longer wishing. You are welcoming. You are no longer rehearsing. You are remembering. This is your season of overflow, not just in money, but in clarity, in purpose, in impact. The billions were never just about comfort. They were always about contribution, about building something bigger than yourself, about creating systems that heal, movements that elevate, realities that ripple across generations. You are not just claiming wealth. You are claiming your divine role in the transformation of this world. You were chosen for this, not randomly, but intentionally. There is a frequency that only you carry, a vision that only you can birth, a level of abundance that only you can hold with the grace, strength, and discernment you've cultivated on this path. So stop doubting, stop hesitating, stop pretending to be unsure. You are the one. And the billions, they were always yours. Now you have remembered. You've stepped through the layers of forgetting. You've walked through the dense fog of doubt, of limitation, of inherited fears. And on the other side, you found truth. It was always there. It didn't need to be earned or unlocked with suffering. It waited patiently, like sunlight behind clouds, knowing you would one day part the veil. And you did. You remembered that wealth is not a trophy for the worthy. It's a mirror for the aligned. You don't earn it by checking the boxes of struggle. You receive it by expanding your capacity to hold joy, to hold power, to hold vision without dilution. Divine billions are not for the few. They are for the willing, for the ones who choose to rise even when the world asks them to stay small. You have chosen. And in doing so, you've sent a signal to the universe. I'm ready now, not someday, not when I've done more, not when I've suffered enough. Now. That now collapses timelines. It bends reality. It invites everything that's been waiting behind the curtain of your hesitation to flood into your life. But here's the secret. You are not waiting for money. Money is waiting for you. Waiting for you to be bold enough to hold it, clear enough to use it, brave enough to let it amplify you, not bury you. The world needs wealthy souls, not just rich bank accounts, but rich energy. Rich in clarity, in purpose, in wisdom. Wealthy people who move from love, not lack, from impact, not ego, from vision, not validation. You are becoming that person. Every moment you choose alignment over approval, truth over tradition, expansion over fear, you step deeper into your divine wealth identity. Let the final remnants of fear fall away now. Let the guilt dissolve. Let the hesitation be replaced with reverence. Because the billions are not just a number. They are an initiation, an unlocking of a life so wide, so full, so divinely orchestrated that your only task now is to say yes to it. Not someday, not when you have more proof. Now, because this is the moment you cross over. The bridge has appeared. The old self stands behind you, tired, doubtful, apologetic. But you are not walking with that self anymore. You are walking with the version of you who remembers, who leads, who builds, who embodies wealth so fully that the world must respond. And it will. It will respond with opportunities that fit your new energy, with people who speak the language of abundance, not survival, with doors that don't just open, they welcome you in. Because you are no longer asking for access. You are the access. Your presence is the permission. Your frequency is the invitation. And as you walk in this knowing, the divine economy moves. Things accelerate. Synchronicities multiply. You will notice them, not because you are chasing signs, but because you have become one. You are the sign that wealth is divine, that prosperity is sacred, that abundance is your home. And now, every day, you wake up differently, not in survival mode, not in scarcity loops, but in divine expectation. You rise with clarity, walk with purpose, speak with conviction. You understand now that this path is not about doing more, it's about being more, being the vessel, being the light, being the embodiment of your own answered prayer. The billions you claim are not just for luxury, they are for legacy. They are for freedom, for healing, for creating new blueprints. They are for building lives that ripple into eternity. And you, beloved, are the architect. So claim it now, not with hesitation, with sovereignty, with fire in your voice and certainty in your bones. You were never lost. You were always destined. Your divine billions are not coming. They are here. And from this moment forward, you walk as the one who has already received. You don't chase. You don't wait. You remember. And as you remember, the whole universe bends to meet you. Now go. Live from the overflow. Lead from the soul. And let your life speak the language of divine wealth so clearly that generations will thank you for the legacy you chose to claim. It's already done. It always was. Welcome home.